We've had a few rumours and news updates about the Green Lantern casting in the last couple of days. We started off with one announcement that Josh Brolin was top picked to play the Emerald Knight, swiftly followed by the True Detective inspiration Matthew McConaughey himself and Ewan McGregor. I believe after a few days it was made official that Joshy Boy didn't want to take the job, which in my opinion I'm not mad at. I see what they were going for, especially if they were going for a more seasoned legend version of Hal Jordan, which is meant to been around a little while, but for me it's still too dark for my liking. Then after that it would turn out that McConaughey actually didn't turn out saying alright. Maybe he just didn't wish to venture to where he'd already been, and let's be completely honest, we don't know if any of this is actually true, but it's yet to be denied, so as of right now, us comic book fans, we're gonna run with it. Anyway, so then there was one, until there wasn't. Two new actors have been added to the list, that being DCEU's own Chris Pine and Timothy Oliphant? I'll be completely honest, don't know how to pronounce that. Probably should have looked it up before I started recording. But there you go. Who is, of course, the sheriff in Mandalorian, I believe season 1? Yeah, I want to say season 1. Again, probably should have done my research before I hopped on here. I have seen it. I just forgot, it was a while back. Now, as it stands, if all this is true, of course, Ewan McGregor stands to take the offer. I'll be completely honest, out of these three, if I was going to pick any of them, it'd be Chris Pine. I honestly think he is a perfect Hal Jordan, and I would have picked him anyway. I recently just filmed a DCU and I believe a Harry Potter, so technically a Warner Brothers casting video for the podcast with my friend, the Nerd Lounge, where I casted somebody else, but to be honest, it was always between this person and Chris Pine. The only reason I wouldn't have put Chris Pine on my list is because, of course, he played Steve Trevor in Wonder Woman. Why would they ask him to, one, come back when he'd just done the DCEU, but also to play a character that isn't that different? But to be honest, to that, I gotta say, a lot of people always wanted and still want Tom Cruise, yet Tom Cruise, and correct me if I'm wrong, is... So what's the difference? I know obviously Top Gun is just a normal pilot and Green Lantern isn't that, but then Steve Trevor is just a normal pilot. It's not exactly like he had powers, he's just a standard man. But I honestly think Chris Pine is perfect for Hal Jordan. I think he looks the part. I honestly think Ewan McGregor... It wouldn't be my first pick. I'm not saying he wouldn't do it justice. He's an amazing actor and I'm sure he could make it work. And I think, honestly, when I look at him, I've seen him in other stuff. He's always really been like a B-Tech version of Chris Pine to me, but that's just me. No disrespect, I think he's good in everything he's in. But yeah, like, if you're going to pick one of them, you might as well pick Chris Pine, right? But obviously only time will tell if any of this is actually true. Maybe none of these actors have been offered the job, or maybe the top 3 have been offered the job and the last 2 have just kind of been chucked on at the end. I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Pine isn't actually in the running just because of, again, what we discussed, or Matthew McConaughey, because that's a bit of a weird one. Obviously he is the inspiration for the show, not him himself, but he was in True Detective. I'm sure anyone watching this probably knows this already, and that is the inspiration for the Lantern show. But it'd be a bit weird to get, like, that doesn't make sense to me. But I don't know, you tell me, out of the 3 remaining actors that are said to be in this list, who would you prefer to play Hal Jordan?